Alright, so this whole thing starts off with just three niggas in the Night's Watch. Will, Waymar, and Jared. These niggas supposed to be on a mission, scouting beyond the wall, tracking some wildlings or whatever. So these three niggas go out, and Will goes ahead. He finds a bunch of dead wildlings, and these niggas is all sprawled out and split up on some satanic ritual shit. So this nigga Will was like, man, fuck this, I'm out of here. He runs back. He goes and tells Waymore, he's like, bruh, I found all these wildlings. These niggas is all dead, sprawled out on some satanic shit, bruh. We gotta be up out of here. And then Waymore's like, nigga, chill the fuck out, you acting like a bitch. And then Will's like, nigga, fuck you. I ain't never seen no shit like that. That look like some White Walker. And then Waymore's like, nigga, chill your bitch ass out. We gonna investigate that shit. Hop on a horse and let's go, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up. And then these niggas go back to the scene of the crime. And there ain't nobody's over there. And then Waymore's like, nigga, what happened? I thought you said there was a bunch of dead niggas over here. And then Will was like, nigga, I just saw these niggas. We gotta head up out of here, nigga. And then all of a sudden, the White Walker hops out the wood and just start giving it to niggas. Just start slicing niggas. Start bodying niggas. And Will was like, see, I done told these niggas stop fucking with these white niggas. I'm out of here. This nigga just starts dipping. He just made a beeline for the woods and just kept running. That nigga just didn't even stop. Just kept it moving. That nigga was just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. They didn't even check on the homies. He said, I told them niggas stop fucking with them white niggas. They wanted to keep playing games. And this man runs so far that he's right near Winterfell. And then Ned Stark's people run up on him like, nigga, what the fuck is you doing? And he's like, nigga, I was with the Night's Watch, but I done seen some bullshit, so I had to head out. And then they was like, nigga, we don't want to hear none of that. Ned Stark's about to whoop your ass. And then they go and tell Ned Stark, and Ned Stark comes through. OG Ned's like, nigga, what is you doing? And he's like, bruh, I done was with the Night's Watch, but what happened was these White Walkers came through, and Ned was like, nigga, I ain't hearing none of that shit. He looks over at his son Bran, he's like, nigga, this is what goes down. Chops the man's head clean off. And he tells his son after, he's like, bruh, somebody needs to be executed. Me, the king, needs to carry out this sentence. So that's what he did. He just swiped his head right off, right in front of him. So then Bran's like, Pops, what was that all about, man? He was talking about the White Walkers. Should I be worried about that shit? And then that was like, nah, son, you good. I got you. That man was just tripping. He was just trying to get out of his duties. He don't know what he's talking about. So then on the way back to the castle, they find a dead direwolf with a bunch of puppies. And then Bran was like, can I keep them? And then they was like, I don't know. He's like, come on, Pops, let me get them. And then he was like, alright, whatever. You feed that nigga and you make sure he's clean. But if that man dies, you gonna bury him. So then Ned, after he goes to the weirwood tree, he's just chilling, just relaxing, cleaning his sword off, just straight chilling. And then Catelyn comes up and she's like, okay, I got some news for you. Jon Arryn's dead. And then Ned's like, damn, that was like my pops though. And she's like, I know, but one more thing, the king's on his way to Winterfell. And then Ned's like, God damn, man, he's coming through. She's like, yeah, he's bringing the Lannisters. So then he's like, fuck. And then Bran, he gets on his Spider-Man shit. He's climbing around doing flips and shit off the castle and shit. And he sees the king coming through. He sees Robb coming through with them, with all his carriages and shit. And he climbs down. He's like, hey, yo, my dukes, I just saw the king coming through. And she's like, boy, you better stop climbing that damn castle. You're gonna bust your ass. And he's like, whatever. And then they go get Ned. And then Robert Baratheon swerves through, and then he walks up to Ned and he's like, what's up, my nigga? And then Ned's like, what's up, my nigga? And they're like, oh shit. And then they dap up, and then Cersei comes out and she's like, oh, let's go relax or something. And then Rob's like, listen, bitch, I'm going down to the crypts. I gotta pay my respects one time for the homies one time. And she's like, but why don't we? And he's like, listen, bitch, I done told you, shut your ass up. I'm going to the crypts. So then they go downstairs to the crypts and they're chilling. And Rob's like, bruh, I need you at King's Landing. I need you to be my hand. And that's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that job. That's kind of a hard job. And then Rob's like, listen, bro, you need to hook a brother up. So then he's like, I'll think about it. So then they go to Lyanna's grave, or tomb, whatever it is. And then Rob's like, damn, they done got my bitch. And he's like, but that was my sister. And then Rob's like, but that was my bitch, though. These Targaryen niggas done got my bitch. So then they were just sitting there crying about that bitch for a little bit. And that's when it transitions over to Viserys' creepy ass. And he's talking to little Dany. He's like, I need you to let Khal Drogo hit that one time. And she's like, who's Khal Drogo? And he's like, man, Khal Drogo is a realest nigga. The Dothraki, the way they do it is the nigga, the longer the hair. And his braid goes all the way down to his ankle, so that nigga's a real ass nigga. And she's like, oh, okay, I want to see a real nigga. So then Khal Drogo comes through with all the blood riders. He comes through with his nigga. He swerves through. He's like, pulls up. He looks at Dany, and then he just dips off. And then she's like, oh, did he like me? Then Illyrio's like, listen, bitch, if he didn't like you, you would know, because he would have turned this shit all the way up. So then, anyways, it transitions back over to Winterfell. And everyone's chilling at a feast. Robert Baratheon's kissing all the hoes in front of his wife and everybody. And then it shows Benjen pulling up in his horse. Benjen's coming through, and Jon Snow sees him, and he's like, hey, yo, Unc. And then Benjen's like, hey, what's going on, nephew? And then Jon Snow's like, yo, take me with you. I want to go to the wall. And then Benjen's like, I don't know if you want to go there, man. That shit's kind of ratchet. And you don't get no bitches over there. You can't hit no hoes. And then Jon Snow's like, man, we don't love these hoes. We don't give a fuck about these hoes. And then Benjen's like, I don't know, man. I'm going to talk to your pops about it. You talk to your pops about it. I don't know. And then it transitions over to Cat. She gets a raven from her sister. And the letter's like, yo, Jon Arryn wasn't sick. That nigga got bodied by the Lannisters. So then she goes and tells Ned, like, yo, you can't go to King's Landing because the Lannisters embodied your pops, whatever you want to call it. And Ned's like, I don't know, I gotta go to King's Landing. So his dumb ass already made the decision right there. So then it goes back over to Khal Drogo, and he's having his wedding with Dany, and Dany's looking around like, man, this nigga is tripping. These Dothraki are tripping. And then Khal Drogo hits that shit strong one time. And then it goes back over to Winterfell, and this man Bran is climbing all over the place on this Spider-Man shit, and he's hearing some noises coming from an abandoned tower, and he climbs over, looks in the window, and he sees Jaime and Cersei fucking. He's like, oh shit, but they twins though. And then Jaime walks up, and he's like, what you doing up here, young blood? And Bran's like, I ain't doing nothing, I'm just climbing. And then Jaime looks over at Cersei, and he's like, girl, the shit I do for some pussy. And then he pushes Bran off the tower, and then Bran just falling, and that's end episode 1.